And you're now listening to TLKInfamous.
Welcome back to Talk Infamous. You got your boy Saint, your girl Social Lee.
Hey y'all.
And today we actually have an old high school friend, Dejan, in the building.
Yeah, I mean, y'all know me as Dejan, but everybody, you know what I mean? I'm the captain. It's Sue. Y'all know me as Tsunami. I be painting. I be doing music, all types of stuff.
So we don't keep you. We don't keep it as Tsunami.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Well, Sue, Tsunami, whatever. It don't matter. Call me either one. But if you know what I mean, if you ain't grow up with me, you don't know the government.
Yeah, so you know, we actually were all friends in high school. If anyone want to know, also I gotta give you your flowers. I don't know if I ever told you this, but he was actually like the person who kind of inspired me to do my afro.
Nah, it's crazy because it's like I'm trying to get my afro where you at now.
It's crazy.
So it's like don't even do that.
It was that era. I don't know if y'all remember. It had the fuck boy hairstyle. It was like kind of like a fade, but it was like curly at the top.
Yeah.
It wasn't really working out for me. And I remember one day you walked into I remember it was Pistola's class, and you grew up. It was like senior year. You grew out your afro. I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna do that.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah. But you always been like, I gotta give you flowers. You always been like a trendsetter. Always did your old thing.
Yo,
so.
bro, I appreciate that. I appreciate that for real. Like.
No problem. But so with this episode, you know, we're going to be getting into a new film, Kid Cudi's film, called Entergalactic, and I'm actually watching it. You were one of the people who I thought of, who came to mind because I know you have like a love for like rap music, and I feel like you was very similar to the character Jabari in a lot of ways, like very carefree. He did graffiti, so like I was like, I thought of Dejan. Let me see if he could come through. See if he can get some takes on that.
That's funny as hell.
Do you feel like you had a connection with Jabari when watching the film?
Yeah, like I'm not gonna hold you. Like it's funny because it was the first time I guess I'm gonna use like a politically correct term. It was like it was one of those films that I seen. Besides, obviously, anything that has to do with like our ancestry and stuff like that, but it was triggering for me almost because I was just like, yo, like I know this game, like I know this already, like I already know I already know what's about to happen before it even do like. So it was just like
you felt connected.
Yeah, I felt connected. Yeah, definitely.
That's what's up. So the film is actually produced by Kid Cudi as well as King and Bass. I feel like King and Bass, right? Cool. And it was actually like a star-studded cast. So we had Macaulay Culkin, which I was kind of surprised to find out.
I didn't know that.
That was fun.
Yeah, but once I found out, I realized what character he was. He was that white dude who. Like,
I noticed it right as soon as I seen his face. I was like, that's Macaulay Culkin. Like, what the hell? Like,
that's
so
crazy.
Kid Cudi has, of course, Jessica Williams, Ty Dolla $ign, Vanessa Hudgens, which was also surprising, Jaden Smith, and as well as Tiana Taylor.
Hold on, because I need to know who Tiana Taylor played.
So she had a little segment, a little scene. It was a point where homegirl and her girlfriend were inside the gym and they was talking about whether or not she should move forward with like having sex with him. So she was the gym instructor. I wish she was there more, but
That's crazy.
So Jabari, like he's 25, very invincible, driven, carefree spirit, as well as metal. Yes, so also like 25, very spiritual. I would say she was a little bit more. She was also artistic, but I would say she was a little bit more advanced than him in a sense as far as career wise. He was just now getting into like moving into like a big career change. So like that's kind of like a little brief overview of the characters.
So the movie took 3 years in the making and is animated young modern day love story set in NYC. The movie series was released with Cudi's 10th studio album, which acted as a soundtrack. The release of the project is a cross between Beyonce's visual album and a Spider-Verse anime.
Yeah. For me, I feel like the movie itself was like just a very refreshing, depiction of a black love story.
Yeah.
It was really like promoting like warm love stories, something that was also real and relatable. And I felt like even though the story in itself was very simple, it was also very powerful.
I agree.
Yeah.
I just want to say about the real love story part too. I just feel like there's a lot of like black love stories, but sometimes I just be feeling like it's oversaturated of just a lot of violence. Like it just be so much, and it's like, can we just get a story where there's not so much trauma going on? Can like just two black people love each other and not have the world against them?
Yeah. I think also like even like the smallest thing I noticed was like I felt like they got some fly ass apartments. Like that shit was
they was doing big things. Like even though it was a cartoon, it was just like they was comfortable. Like they was living lavish. I
had to think about it. I was like, it's cool to see black people living like luxurious, like really living good.
Yeah.
So like the smallest things like that was which like really kind of like
motivating.
Yeah, it was very motivating. Yeah.
What are some of your thoughts that came to mind regarding this love story?
Well,
what was that? I didn't hear what you said. My fault.
No, you good. What are some of the thoughts that came to mind regarding this love story?
Got anything that you?
I mean, I don't like. It's just like I feel like it's like it is its own. It was its own thing, but I feel like everybody has gone through what Jabari has gone through in some aspect, or even like the other character. Like, you know what I mean?
It was very
like
universal.
Meadow, or even like I know people that have grown. Like I forgot the ex's name.
Carmen.
But it's like I
know a Carmen
girls
too.
that are like
Yeah,
Carmen, and
yeah.
it's just like they've grown from that, and they've realized, like, you know what I mean. So it's
Yeah.
just like it's funny as hell, like just to see, like it was very just it felt regular, like it wasn't regular, but it felt right. Like I felt like
even though
I've
it was
been
an
there
animation,
before.
it felt like you felt like a part of the story.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like for me, it was cool. Like somebody brought it into my perspective. Like it was a story told through a black man's perspective.
Yeah.
It was very expressive, and a lot of times we don't see that, especially when it comes to a love story. So that was one thing that really took away from me, because I feel like as a black man, this was really a good look for us. Like this it's good to see like a black man just being emotional and being expressive and seeing his story, because I think a lot of times they complain about black men not being
Emotionally expressive.
exactly enough. So I feel like it was cool to see that, and I also feel like it also showed me that I was never a big fan of animation. I mean, I like watching cartoons, but like to be like an animation fiend, I wasn't that. But it also showed me like how this use of like work is really important, because it allows us to like dream, you know what I mean? And it also allows us to tell stories in a way that can't be told traditionally, because where animation is kind of limitless. So you could tap into like a childhood energy and like do more things.
I think
Say what you gotta say.
I was gonna say there was one scene where they was riding a bike listening to music, and then all of a sudden they was like in the stars in the world.
Yeah.
But it was so important, because I feel like I don't know.
That's how you feel.
Yeah, like sometimes I'll be in them long drives with my boyfriend, and
you just feel like
I'll be like we in nowhere. We just driving on nowhere. We just in our own zone. I just felt like that was so important to encapsulate.
Yeah.
But what you gonna say?
I also felt like it was fire too, because it also just showed like he was wild vulnerable, like to make a movie and then make a soundtrack to go along with what you're going through, and then the lyrics matching what's going on. Like you speaking from that place. You know what I mean? You've been there before. So to have a soundtrack, to make a movie and then also have a soundtrack to that movie, it was just like this whole shit was just like very personal.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like it was something very, and that's why honestly I enjoyed it, because it was just like it was somebody just not trying, he did it, but giving their best artistry, and just hoping for the best as far as like a public opinion and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Like you say, it felt like it was like more so this is my thing and I'm just sharing it with you guys.
Yeah, exactly.
And I feel like
it's fine.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I think that's a really good insight, because I don't listen to Kid Cudi like that. I'm not gonna say I don't really care for his music. I just don't listen to him. And even like the songs by yourself, it wasn't really like my boat. Like that's not my type of time. But after I watched the movie and I was able to personalize some of the stories I seen in the movie, after watching the movie and then listening to the soundtrack by yourself, now I was able to understand Kid Cudi a little bit more, and then understand what he was thinking when he made the movie or the song. Yeah. And I just thought it was really cool too, because his songs was very like, what I say, like, I want to say heartwarming, but it wasn't so heavy. You know how certain music is just so like you feel a little sad.
Yeah.
It felt really uplifting, but then in the movie, it talks about real topics and real struggles. So I just thought that was so cool that he was actually able to make a song that kind of gave insight to people's obstacles when it comes to love, but it was still uplifting song.
And it's crazy because, Kid Cudi, he's dealt with like a lot of depression and, stuff like that. So it shows his growth. Like he wasn't always that. So it's good to see like an artist grow a lot, especially when it comes to like rap artists. They don't grow, they stay stuck in.
Rap artists?
Yeah, black. It's not like just black, but just rap artists, like mainstream. I feel like they tell like the same story.
Well, it all depends, because it's just like this. It's just like if I keep serving you this,
Yeah.
and you keep coming back, then why am I gonna do anything different if this continues to work?
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying? And that's what I feel like we on the track of with like music today is just like it's like fast food in a sense. Like you do have artists where it's just like you got Kendrick, you got the J. Cole's, you got, you know what I mean? You got different people where it's just like they do be showing like their full artist or being vulnerable on tracks and not just always talking some shit that's honestly like that's degrading to us or that doesn't help us build
Elevate
on our foundation. Exactly.
Because like even watching that film, like damn, like if a lot of black men watches, it's like it's going to show them. It's going, it shows them like even like the smallest thing, like when I think Jabari when he hooked up with Carmen, we all been in that space, some place in predicament where you messing with somebody and you will ghost them. Yeah. At that moment, he was about to get up and leave his stuff, but it showed maturity that he stood there and had a conversation with her. You know what I mean? And say, yo, listen, I don't think this is gonna work out. Stuff like that. So that even as a young black man watching that, who probably in his shoes, he knows, okay, this is probably the better way to go about things, as opposed to like, I just got my shit, I'm out now. You know what I mean? I'm
so happy for that too. I just feel like ghosting is not okay. I don't know how y'all feel about that.
Nah, I mean that's why. It depends how you giving it up. It's just like because if it's just on some shit like y'all got no history, whatever. Like I know sometimes I'm not gonna just put this on women because it's men and women, but you might have been lit the night before and you not thinking the same way you know what I mean? You might be on something like, damn, what I do? Like, let me get the hell up out of here. Like, you're not trying to confront the situation because you embarrassed or whatever the case may be. Right. So it's just like, it shows a lot of growth as well to be there. Because I've also been in those situations where it's just like, I know for me personally, if I just walked out of here, like it a bit like I don't have to deal with no bullshit. I'm good. You're good, yeah. But it's just like for example, him staying there and then he still has to take the shit. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like that still takes a lot. Like, you know what I mean? To still continue to move on because it's just like, fuck, I should have just did what I wanted to do initially. Like, you know what I mean?
But let me ask you, speaking of ghosting, do you guys always feel like with ghosting, it has like there's different reasons for people who are ghosting a person? Like, do you feel like like, do you just feel like it's solely because, okay, they're not into the person, or do you feel like people sometimes ghost because they're shying away from the person? Like,
are we talking in person or are we talking in general?
In general, right?
In general.
Because it's just like, people might not be ghosting. It might be, my life is so wrapped up in the shit that I got going on right now. It's just like, you may think because I'm either posting on the gram or doing whatever that it's because it's different from what it was before that it's changed or something, but it's still there. It's just, I'm just doing whatever I got dealing with right now. Like, you know what I mean? So it's all about...
Now, I was going to ask, but do you feel like you don't owe them a text? Like, I need some time.
It depends, because I might, like I'm saying, I'm so wrapped up in what I'm thinking. I'm not thinking that you're on some shit of like sometimes we be so caught up in our shit. I'm assuming you see that, like, yo, bro, if I'm not hitting you or if I'm not doing this, it's like, because of X, Y, and Z. You get what I'm saying? Like,
also, I'm learning too. Like, people are very different. Like, it's a matter of growth too. Like me, young Kyle probably wouldn't even think of, like you said, like hitting a person up or it's like, you just saying you're just young. I was just young, but also sometimes people are just different. Like certain people just have a mindset where, like you said, they so wrapped in their world, they can't even have any consideration or. Yeah, they don't even have any considerations for what the person may think, and I learned to not like you can't demonize a person. That doesn't technically make them a bad person or good person. Just like so, everybody ain't the same. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But so with that being said, it's
real quick, just with consideration and capacity. Yeah, because you did emphasize the capacity part about. Like, literally, I'm so wrapped up. I don't have the capacity to even think about the other person. I'm just thinking about this problem that's in front of me or the situation. So I just want to emphasize that, the capacity, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it'd be capacity, because motherfuckers be stupid. So, but with that being said, what I liked about this movie as well is because it kind of normalized or, like, for me, the message was that love should be easy or love should come with ease. Mm-hmm. Like, you knew from, like, straight off the bat, when they met each other, they finally got connected. Like, everything was really smooth. Like, they had a connection, you know what I mean? Even when it came to that point, at some point where, there was, I guess, a miscommunication or stuff like that, and it hit a hiccup, they came back to each other, and it wasn't even like, yo, they need to have had like a deep conversation about it. It was just like, you know, they had to take their time and their space to like really like assess what they needed at that moment.
Yeah, but I also feel like,
Yeah,
like with that whole text situation,
yeah,
he could have easily deaded that whole shit right then and there.
Yo,
like,
listen.
Like, for movie purposes,
no,
I get it.
No,
but on some real life, it's just like,
you know what I think? I said, first of all, I don't know if that's just a male perspective, and also this is me. I said the same thing to my cousin, and she's a girl, so I'm like, he could have just told her that it was a rat, like, but she remember he went back to.
You're right. He could have just been a friend.
Sorry, for context for the people who didn't watch it, pretty much in
spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler alert. Jabari goes to his ex Carmen's house to help her kill a rat because they're supposed to be friends now. Well, yeah, that was the intent. They're supposed to be friends now, and he have left his sweater there, and then homegirl puts the sweater on and sends him a picture. That's basically saying, yeah, pretty much it's kind of like saying, yeah, it was good seeing you. The fetish.
She was half naked.
She was like, oh, something. Yeah. She was like, something still fit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what it was. And that's what it was. I've been there.
Meadow has seen the text, so
at
she
1
felt
a.m. in the morning.
At 1 a.m. in the morning. So yeah, going back to my cousin, she kind of shed light to my perspective. Like, you gotta understand, like, in that time frame, everything is going good. They bonding, they're having a good connection.
Yeah.
And then that happens. She doesn't even know the ex is in the picture. And then she sees like this appearance. So now she's just completely blindsided by the whole situation. And I was also thinking, like, you know, in that moment, he could have said that, but would she have believed him? Like, come on. If you think about, yo, hey, you seen some shit like
you're
that?
Absolutely right, yeah.
And like, yo, I was helping her with getting a rat.
I was like, yeah, right.
Exactly. I don't know if I can say it's a male perspective thing that we don't see stuff like that, but I was like, okay, I get it.
Now, I also feel like with her, it's just like, I understand where she's coming from too, because it's just like like some shit like, because I think it was a month or something like that. So let's say 2-3 weeks or whatever, we've been the butterflies, exactly. All that. It's like the honeymoon stage. Everything is flawless. Yeah. And then this one little thing happens. Yeah. It's just like, it makes you revert now because you were so vulnerable. It's just like, damn, like, is this the same as all the other shit?
Exactly.
Like what's good with this?
Past relationships and stuff.
So it might open up old wounds that is just like not necessarily his fault. Yeah. But it's just like, that's something that you sometimes us personally got to deal with or figure it out, because it's just like I just feel like he could have explained it better, man.
No, I'm not gonna lie. I said the same thing, but I guess like you said, it was more so for movie purposes.
Yeah,
yeah. But I'm not gonna lie. The way she kind of like made the bed up and left the phone on the side,
she made her side of the bed while he was still in it. That's petty.
No. Listen, I was telling Leah. Crazy. I was telling Leah that's some shit I would do, because people be like, it's passive aggressive. It's not passive aggressive. It's like. She said
nah,
her message.
You hurt.
She said the message.
You hurt.
Yeah, she
that
hurt.
shit is crazy.
So you mentioned about like they had an ease with each other.
Yeah.
What does ease mean to you guys? Like, what does ease mean when meeting somebody?
I feel like there has so I learned recently like connection, what connection really means. And also there was a clear differences between compatibility, connection, and chemistry. So
break it down.
So pretty much compatibility is basically like what is on paper. So if you think about zodiac signs, there'll be like a Libra and a Sagittarius go hand in hand, but we know that's not always true. You know what I mean? So that's compatibility. Okay. It's not really, it's on paper, but you know, we see it every single day. You know, signs don't really kind of indicate whether or not a person will like mesh well. Boom. Then you have chemistry. Now, chemistry is also something that's very valid, but say if you're just a naturally like cool person, you go in a room and you could just be cool with anybody.
I wanted to say something real quick with the compatibility thing. I feel like with that, it's also more of a thing of just like we like when it's around, it's like we work together. Yeah. But it's just like it don't make or break what's going on in my life, or like with I feel like what you're about to say with like chemistry. You get what I'm saying? It's a different bond. It's just like a couple people could be in the room, be compatible on some like doing whatever. Right. But then when it comes to outside of whatever the situation is, it's just like they not fitting. Mesh. They're not meshing. And I feel like with chemistry, it's just like you whatever we go, we just on the same wavelength. My fault.
No, it's cool. But with chemistry, what I learned, because like they say, you can be like a person who just gets along with anybody. So the person who has like a more friendly, just a more friendly attitude, and say me and you start talking, right? Being that you just more naturally like, you just more naturally like in tune and like more like energetic and stuff like that, you have the power. Because the moment you get tired or you feel like the chemistry, you're no longer entertained by me, you cut it off. So I could be feeling the chemistry from you, right? It feels like it's something that's mutual. But the moment that person who has the kind of like who kind of has like the power, who controls the situation, they can cut it off. And you can leave the person like high and dry, if that makes sense.
That's for the chemistry?
Yeah. Because like I said, you could think about like, you gotta think about it. There's certain people who just know how to who could walk in a room and get along with anybody.
Yeah.
So that person has control, especially if it comes to like an intimate relationship.
But I feel like that's more of an individual thing. Like if a person that could just come in and control the room, I feel like that's a certain dominance. It's a type of aura about you. It's a type of like assertiveness about you. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's what you're trying to say. Like people try to base it off chemistry, but if you're mailing with somebody who just naturally has a good presence and good energy. Well, I wouldn't say good energy, but just are friendly and know how to walk in the room. They can make you feel more important than what you are. They can make you feel very important, and then the minute they don't care about you no more, it's cut.
Oh, you're talking about in just terms of the word of chemistry.
Exactly.
General chemistry is basically be able to navigate.
Exactly.
Whereas
when you're in a connection, it's kind of like it's more of like a spiritual thing. It's like you guys see each other and understand each other at a deeper level.
In and outside in what you said.
I thought that's what chemistry was.
I thought the same thing too. I mean, at the end of the day, it's all words and stuff like that.
But we learn something new every day.
Yeah, I feel like for me, when I watch them, I feel like they definitely had a connection. I feel like that's what it boils down to. It's like someone who's not gonna run when shit get hard. You know what I mean? Yeah. Whose intentions is to be kind and to be caring to you. To understand you.
That's
want to have a good time.
You bringing me. Yeah. You ever did them 30 seconds? Oh, my bad. Go real quick.
No, it's all good. I was gonna say, but also, damn, I kind of lost it. Give me 1 second, maybe it's gonna come back.
All right.
Yeah. Do you think?
You know what's crazy? Because you had me in my head. Like, you ever think did those 30-second dating tables thing?
No, I never. You did that?
I never did it, but I just seen it on TV. Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, that looks fun. But let's say you, like you said, you can have a person that's just so suave.
That's what it is.
Like you have game. You can talk or charm any person that you're talking to. And that's not necessarily chemistry because, like you said, you can cut it off.
It's chemistry, not connection.
It's chemistry, not connection, because, like you said, you're the one. You have the power.
You have
to
the power in
do
that thing.
Epiphany. All right.
So there could be an instance where they both have that.
Yeah.
But like I said, if one person has that dominant power, then, like I said, they're in control of the situation. Once they feel like they're no longer interested in you, cut off. And you feel like, oh my God, we have so much great. No, that person is just a friendly person. Yeah. They can have that with anybody. Whereas a connection is just a little bit more differently. But
I lost it again. Okay. I'm
sorry.
Nah, it's all good. Boom, I got it. Boom.
Cool.
So basically, what I was gonna say was back to you saying, it's like just because you gotta find what is worth fighting for as well. Because it's just like. Just because you saying because shit is hard don't mean nothing because shit might still be that. Like you get what I'm saying? So you got to understand, you got to also know your worth and things and see and try your best to see if this is honestly going to pan out and do like you can't always be bending your back and breaking and basically on some shit of, I'm going to sacrifice this because I'm trying to help this person or whatever. Like you still got to put yourself first. Because then when you can't deplete yourself, trying to build somebody else.
And that's crazy. I feel like a lot of the stories in love, especially when it comes to like Black love stories, is like that's what it showcases. It's like constantly sacrificing yourself. Like love should not be about you sacrificing yourself. It's about you feeling yourself and the person feeling you, the person in your relationship. It should be a fulfillment.
And does that, for what you said, that's the answer to what does ease mean to you?
I think so.
I think that's a good answer too, because like you said, it's not about sacrificing. It shouldn't be so much headache to get over this obstacle. You guys should be able to have a conversation about realistically. In a perfect world, you should be able to have a conversation and then get from that. But like you said,
And of course, like and like I said, no relationship is perfect. There's going to be growing pains, but it's like, how do you guys go through those things together? That's also the kind of determines it, whether or not it's real or not. Another thing that kind of stood out to me was the fact that, like I said, Jabari was coming into his own. Like, he's getting his money up, got into career, and then you see, the ex pop in the picture. So my thing is, do you think it's true, like, when you come up, like, the energy of the past tests you?
Oh, yeah, of course. That's with anything. Even if his ex didn't pull up, it would have probably been one of the old homies that was pulling him down before, or whatever, wasn't helping him progress. Like, that's with anything. But you got to take that down and understand that it's just like, you got to grow. You can't backstep. Like, that shit is behind you for a reason. You know what I mean?
That's the point of growth. And sometimes when you're on a trajectory of growing, the only way you can grow is through being, like, you got to face some of your old habits, your old ways.
You got to shed some of that old
shit. Take it.
Yeah, it's inevitable. Have you guys ever been in those type of situations where,
Not necessarily. Yeah. I've been, when I finally found growth in myself, I've almost like went back to a bad habit. Yeah. Which wasn't helpful. So like literally, like, like you said, it's this consistency, because there's certain stuff that I was doing before that's not necessarily good for me. Yeah. And so now every time I face an obstacle, I'm always like thinking about, all right, let me go to my safe space doing that bad habit. But every time I say no to that bad habit, honestly, it makes me so much stronger.
Better. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I know, like, me, like, coming into more of my growth, like, overall that's just life, but I feel like more potent, like, in the last couple of months, like, I've been very intentional about, my growth. But motherfuckers been testing me.
Right.
But, I've been doing a really good job. So, yeah.
That's right. Yeah. How important is trust when building a new relationship?
Through the film itself, I feel like that was, like, kind of like a common thread. Mm-hmm. Like, from the jump, even when they met, they went out to the diner and, he was about to order. And she was like, do you trust me? Mm-hmm. And he was like, yeah. And, like, that, I feel like when you go into a relationship, the best way, especially a new relationship, the best way is to lead with trust, because you get to the answer quickly, especially if you're smart enough and you're not just gonna like let shit just go over. But I feel like leading with trust, if you pursuing something, don't go in there like half-ass. I feel like you should go in there full throttle, like not full throttle, but like go in there with an open mind, an open heart. And I think when you're developing a new relationship, you should be open to exploring, So I feel like that was like a big common thread throughout the film.
What about you, Tsunami?
Repeat the question.
Yeah, like how important is like stress? Sorry.
Do you think it's how important is trust when building a new relationship?
Trust is everything. Yeah. Like, you got it. But also it's just like, or also with trusting, it helps you grow, because it's just like you seeing how, like what you were saying with the whole burger shit, and then it was like, it wasn't a real bird. He was just like, oh, it's a brand, but he was rocking with it.
Exactly.
So it's just like, sometimes you just gotta let go of the wheel, take somebody else, because they're gonna show you something. You know what I mean? Whether it's gonna probably make you uncomfortable, be out of your norm or something, but you're gonna grow from it.
So you saying trust? Yeah. So you don't think trust is earned? You think you should give somebody trust, and then if they let you down,
I think for a fact, for the most part, the way I be going into shit is just like, I'm 100%. You got all my trust for the most part.
So shorty, if you talk
it depends, because like I think it's different type of relationships. But when you go into like a relationship where you trying to like intimately know somebody, your heart should be in it. Like, it's not like a business thing or something like that. Like, where you gotta be like, hey, let me try to maneuver something. In those cases, you could still lead with trust 100%. But I feel like it can be a case by case basis. But I feel like, especially when you are trying to get to know somebody on an intimate level, you should lead with trust, because your heart is in it. Why am I second guessing? If anything, I shouldn't be. I don't know. I don't feel like me personally, I wouldn't feel comfortable just like not going in with the trust.
I don't know.
I gotta get to the results.
I think you gotta make
get to the results fast that way.
Yeah, and another thing is like, the shit that kind of blew my mind about the movie. Yeah, that made me think when she was just like, like, one thing I hate is when people be like, I feel like this happened too fast or whatever, and it's just like, I feel like, honestly, on some shit, like when it comes to connections like that, it's like I feel like those are the things that that are going to, you get what I'm saying, that
There's
are gonna last.
There's no such thing as time.
Yeah, there's no such thing as time. Like if this is how it's happening, like there's people that probably fell in love within 2 days. They together forever till the end of time type shit. It's just if it's flowing, it's flowing. Like I feel like we have this perception of shit. Like no, we got to go through this, and then we got to do this, and then we got. It's just like nah. If this is working for both of us, and we got no worries, then what is the problem?
I think that my bad. Let me hold on because there's such thing called as the honeymoon stage. Oh my God, this person is right for me. He do everything. Oh, yo, she listens to me. She's a shorty. And then y'all get into one blowout. And it's like, oh, fuck this bitch. Yeah. Or, you know, I'm just like making it mad extra. But in some cases, there are people that go through the honeymoon stages. So, yeah, in some cases, like, damn, we was moving too fast. Now I see who this person really is. Mm-hmm. So, like, don't y'all think there's such thing as a honeymoon stage that...
Nah, yeah, I definitely do. But I feel like if that came to that, then it's just like you either take your second, like you either, depending on what the situation is, it's like you take that second chance or you realize that there was something to be learned within this lessons and you keep it pushing. But I don't feel like it's a thing. But with relationships and like friendships even or whatever, I don't feel like there's nothing. When both parties are on some pure shit, I don't feel like there's ever something moving too fast.
Exactly.
If you're somebody that's a very giving person and you're giving to somebody who's leeches off of that and shit like that, then
at some point you're gonna click like, yo, this person. I mean, like I said, if you smart enough and tap, because there really do be some dummies out here who just like let people suck them dry. Yeah, you got to be very smart enough and very in tune to be like, yo, like I'm out feeling this, and of course it's gonna hurt you because that was never your attention was in the right space. But I mean, like I said, when it comes to like building these type of bonds, friendships, intimate relationships, family, I feel like there should be no room for hesitation, because if something is drawing you to this person, it's for a reason. Yeah.
To answer, that's a good point y'all make. Y'all may be convincing me, because they honestly, like, I was making this friend. I met this friend, and this person was really cool, and I was like, whoa, like it was too close for me. Yeah. I was like, nah, this person really like she cool with me, like she really fuck with me, and I was like, wait, like what's the agenda? And so I was kind of like pushing back, like, nah, we gonna take it one step at a time. But then, you know, after I gave myself a little bit more time, I was like, yo, like. And I would, you know, I'll ask my boyfriend or ask advice, and it was like, no, like you bugging, like she probably just really fuck with you. And so in some cases, I had to take a step back. It's like, let me accept this person, even though I feel like it may be moving too fast. Sometimes those moving too fast can be a good relationship, and I'm good friends with her to this day. You know what I'm saying?
But that's because you going through that because of your past traumas and shit like that.
And I was gonna say that,
you know, you've been nice to whoever, or you be thinking it's one way, something similar, and then somebody fuck you over or whatever the case may be, and you like, wow, like I thought this was like my best friend or whatever the case may be, and it's just like that wasn't the case. So I feel like, No.
He made a great point. I was going to say that thing because it was definitely a period in periods of my life where I didn't lead with trust, and like you said, you become hesitant of like people's intentions, and the more as I'm learning more and more and more, it's like I don't want to be that way. You know, I don't. It's not the right way to be, because it's like I said, you're pursuing something or you end something. Like, why should you feel like? If you feel that way, that's a sign that, you know, like I said,
within myself,
within yourself, or like I said, even the situation itself, you just that's what is best for you to determine what that is, because a lot of times you'll block your blessings. So yeah, I know, like I said, I've been in those spaces like a lot of times, and it can be like you said, it's just like your own insecurities, your own past situations. So, you know, just got to learn how to like not allow that to affect every relationship you counter, you know, into. So that's something I'm learning as well. Another thing I think they also touched on was pride. So I feel like, especially in this generation, we are very prideful. It goes back to like us, we let a good thing to get away from us, or, you know, block a blessings just because of our pride. And I feel like in this circumstance, I like how I feel like they didn't let their pride get the best of them. Even though, like I said, even when they had the little hiccup, they both were taking that time and space to like navigate how to best assess the situation. Not only that did they do that, but I feel like they have people in their corners, and that's also like a testament. Like, you know, I feel like you need to make sure you have the right people in your corners who are going to guide you in situations like this, because any of the friends could have been like, you know what, fuck that, or she couldn't be like, yeah, she'd be like, you know, fuck that. But they was like trying to guide them through it, not trying to tell them what to do, but try to guide them and let them come to their own decision. And like I said, even when they handled the situation, they knew what they had was so much more important than that little hiccup.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's a bigger picture involved.
Yeah, exactly.
The pride in, well, I would say yeah. But if y'all remember, there was a time where Meadow and Jabari was about to send a text message. Like, hey, like I think she was about to invite him to the show. My show is tonight, and then Jabari was gonna be like, well, the comic is going. And it's not necessarily pride. I don't think that's the exact word. But I think pride and vulnerability goes hand in hand because it's like you have to be willing. Vulnerable. You have to be willing to lose your pride, and in being able to put yourself in that predicament, you're basically being vulnerable to that action. So I feel like they was also prideful in that moment because they could have sent a text message. They probably could have got closer, you know, later on. Which they,
they didn't let the pride. Like I said, they definitely had moments where their pride got the best of them. But I like the fact that they were able to like come across that hurdle.
Yes,
because some people have been like,
I feel like
that's true
because
you rallied in that point.
Because they came over them hurdles. I feel like they with certain things, like because obviously in the end it's sunny, it's great, like it ends beautifully, happily ever after. But it's just
to be continued.
Yeah. But it's just like with the whole pride thing, it's just like certain things you have to be prideful for because, like I said, it's about protecting yourself and protect. Okay. So if you do too many things that are vulnerable and then you get shut down, it's gonna fuck you. Now you might slip into depression or like, you know what I mean? So it's just like you just gotta tread lightly, man. Like especially with like situations like those where I feel like somebody is dealing with like they're trying to basically break down and interpret what they're going through and what they just seen or how they feel. Yeah. You gotta kind of give people their space and be like, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I feel like they both understood that, and that's why when they came together, it was both because like they were just compatible, like they worked for each other. Like so, regardless of what was gonna happen, they were on the same page. When they got back together, it was gonna be that.
Meet up at the burger spot.
Yeah.
That's true. They was knocking on each other's door right there.
Do you guys believe in like there's a love that strong, like you guys are in sync in that way,
where you guys would know where each other's at, something like that?
Maybe that, but something similar like that. Yeah, like I mean, for me, I feel like it, like, you know, especially like with twins. Like, I think somebody told me like they know twins. Like, you know, if you hit the twin, they feel the pain or something like that. But like kind of on like a soulmate level where you feel like you guys are you guys can like feel each other to that extent.
I feel like I haven't. Bro, honestly, like when it comes to like I haven't experienced that, and I truly even haven't seen it in like I haven't experienced that personally in third person outside looking in. I haven't seen that for anybody. So, bro, I don't know. Like I honestly don't know. I feel it's sad to say, but like I don't know.
Yeah, she was kind of hesitant too about it, like you know the idea of it.
I was gonna say I think that you can build connection. Because I don't feel like you got to have a strong connection right then and there. I think over time, when you're getting to know somebody, you know, you're with somebody, you find yourself thinking the same thing that your other partner was thinking. Yeah. And I feel like it doesn't have to be it is or it isn't. I think that can come in a relationship, and it doesn't have to come now, but it may come later. Yeah. I think that's possible.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know, for me, the movie itself is like I feel like it just told me like you got to dream big, bitch, you know? You got to dream big. You got to really
definitely do.
Yeah, like even when it comes to love, like I feel like a lot of times, and that's the problem. A lot of times, like I feel like we're in a society where we're just settling for what it is. I mean, I wouldn't even say this society, but you could see past generations. It's always about settling, you know, and to the point that we forget to like, you know, I can dream of something that's more grander or something that's much better. May not be in fucking New York City because they got lucky, you know, because it was even a point in the movie that, you know, finding love in New York is a big deal. And because a lot of times what it is like the love of your dreams may not be in the city, may not be in this country, may not be in this state. So I mean, yeah, I don't know.
But see, with shit like that, I feel like I honestly feel like this might like is crazy, but I feel like as human beings, it's just like yes, but also you can find your soulmate in your settings, if that makes sense. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
What do you mean by that?
Huh?
In your settings?
Yeah, in your set, like let's say you live in Middle America,
right?
Fucking wherever, you know what I mean? It's just like your high school sweetheart and shit like that. That's all you know. It's just like that's the love of your life. Like that's who you feel like is your soulmate. Like on set, and you're genuinely happy. I don't mean just because you're doing it because everybody in the town is just getting mad. Like this is what people do. Right. It's just like no, this is genuinely who you've loved all your life or whatever the case may be. Like I feel like that's possible.
I agree. I think, like I said, it goes back to being, like I said, I think it goes back to being like spiritually in tune. Because we were talking about a lot of times people aren't spiritually in tune to the point like they miss out on things. Like like I said, your soulmate could be in your setting, like in your area. And I think also kind of goes back to like also being present. A lot of times we are so, especially with social media, always looking for the next thing, the next somebody and stuff like that. So like sometimes, like you said, it could be right in your home. Yeah. Like happiness is where you at.
There's 7 billion people in the world. Yeah. It's just like, bro, I don't even think there's like one soulmate, if anything. Like you get what I'm saying? Right. Because it's just like you might have a relationship with one aspect where it's just like, oh my God, this is the greatest thing ever. And then you deal with another person and they show you a different type of happy, like it's you still have these different butterflies and all that, but it's just like we're doing different things and I'm still having these whatever, like this type of high or love or whatever the case may be. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's just like I feel like there's too many people in the world for you to not have more than one soulmate.
I feel the same way too. I feel the same way too. I feel like I was telling my last episode, you can experience love with somebody and more than one. You can have more than one loving relationship. Mm-hmm. It may not look the same. Something may be more like a more sexually in tune thing, more emotional, more intellectual, more creative.
Yeah, exactly.
And that goes back to like, I feel like we gotta break our ideas of what relationships look like, especially when you're in your 20s. Yeah, you have that time and space to like really explore all your options. But I think at the end of the day, it's all about being honest and being mature and being transparent with the people who you're dealing with, because you don't want the situation to get sticky. You don't want it to be messy. So I think that's what it boils down to.
I think you said it best. I was gonna say something, but y'all pretty much took the words out of my mouth.
That point about the
I was just gonna mention the Stush app, right? Yeah. So in the movie,
I forgot that was what it was called.
Yeah. In the movie Intergalactic, Stush is a dating app used. What do you think was the underlying message behind featuring that app?
Yeah. Do you want to? You felt like you had? Did you feel like that was a pivotal part of the movie?
Like I honestly. Like, damn, y'all fucked me up because I like that course. Like, I honestly don't remember. I gotta watch back. Yeah. Maybe it's because of me, but it's like I just remember like the ending where they announced the shit with the sets. Like, I know they kept showing it, like popping up on the ads or whatever. Yeah. But I didn't fully remember like what was going on with that app. Yeah. Like, you get what I mean?
For me, I felt like that was a big thing for me. I feel like it was a great contrast, because you see that everyone's over there, like the Stush is like the biggest thing that's being promoted throughout the movie, online dating. But then you have these two people who are meeting in real time.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So yeah, for me,
okay, so that's what it was.
Yeah, for me, that's what I took away from it. Like I feel like a lot of times, because me and my cousin was talking about this, like meeting people online. I mean, it works for some people, but I think that's become the norm, to the point that people aren't meeting people in real time or aren't even making room for that.
Mm-hmm. I also
what
felt
happened to like run into the nigga at a coffee shop or
a supermarket, right?
But I feel like it's all about like-minded individuals, because it's just like, as a person that is like, I don't know, I feel like I grew up in a time where it's just like before social media or whatever, like I was outside, bro. Like I was talking to people, I was social, like I was out here, you get what I'm saying? So it's just like, I feel people that are like, the majority from what I've experienced, and it's just like, I've been on dating apps, and I feel like the people that I've met are all like, they have this thing about like, they wouldn't do good in the setting of going out on their own and trying to talk to somebody or whatever the case may be. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Where it's just like, I don't know, I was totally different, so I feel like I could see that off rip, where it's just like, oh, I see why you're on the app, because it's just like do you feel a like normal interaction. Some of us can't even do. You get what I'm saying?
Do you feel like you've had like effective relationships through online dating?
Through online dating? Hell no.
That's what I'm saying.
Hell no.
But I think like, but I think you make a good point. It's effective for certain people who aren't comfortable in making. Because there's a lot of success stories, but I feel like it's become such a big. That's like the overarching thing of like people. That's how people like really pursue people now, to the point that like we've lost touch. Even like if you are a person who's more like real time, like you've lost touch with even like going out on dates, putting yourself out there in the real places.
Yeah,
now you just
like
we're all on our phones and stuff like that. Look at this nigga is cute or this bitch is cute. Sorry, not nigga or bitch. Sorry. You guys know what I'm at. You know, I'm talking with friends, so you know, I'm talking really.
You got comfortable real quick.
Real quick. But yeah, you just like you looking and you that's how you looking for your love, and you're not even thinking about putting yourself out there. If you're looking for something, like you said, even if it's in your city, you're not even going out to bars or taking yourself out on dates and putting yourself in spaces where you could potentially meet somebody, even though that should not, it's not it shouldn't be the attention, but
it's like I honestly feel, but it's like dating apps is cool, but I feel like it's like if you are in your mid-30s or you got this crazy career where you can't step out or whatever the case may be, because it's just like, bro, us in our 20s, that like from 30s down or even mid-30s down, whatever, it's just like, you should be out there social. Like you should be like, we live in a time where it's just like, I feel like it's been shown as the norm, so people have made it the norm. And it's just like, if you choose for not to be the norm, then it won't be the, you get what I'm saying? Because it's just like, bro, I don't be like from an Instagram point or whatever the case may be, it's just like, I felt like if I show people my Instagram, it's just like, oh, whatever. But then I know people who aren't doing nothing with their lives, and it's just like, verify, check, all of that. And it's just like, bro, they was asking somebody for $1 the other day or something. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like,
it's crazy.
I think that the Stush app, like some of the advertisements they kept showing was like swipe up. Yeah. I think that the Stush app showed how quick we can easily sign people off and dispose people. I feel like when you're meeting somebody in real time, you have to be quick. Like the person that's trying to talk to you have to be quick. You probably gonna like it's so natural and raw because you have to have an answer right then and there. I feel like with social media, people get so comfortable with making sure, all right, let me text it this way. Wait, matter of fact, let me wait 2 hours. They get you get so much more control in being able to edify yourself in having conversations online. Yeah. But it's not necessarily beneficial because you're not getting the true chemistry behind the words. And like you said, you may have a person that have like 10 followers on Instagram, but they the most outgoing person outside. And then you have somebody that has 100,000 followers and they just be like, yeah, okay.
And it's also, I could tell for myself, you somehow, like when you come across an Instagram page of somebody, based off their Instagram page, you kind of like, you create a story about who they are based off what they show you. And it's a normal thing because it's like you seeing, okay, this is what, and it can, and me, I kind of hate that too. Like that's why like getting to know people online has always been kind of weird for me because I feel like, what is their ideas about me? Now I'm at a point in my life, like, so if you trying to talk to me, all right, cool, let's meet up tomorrow. Like, we ain't gonna do this whole week thing and we talking and DMing, we gonna figure out what's real. Like, I feel like with the social media thing, that's where it can be a little bit tricky. With like getting to know people, it's just like I said, it allows people to edify themselves or people to have perceptions of you based off whatever you show, and
just the ability to write people off quickly.
Is that part too?
That's a fact.
And I try to show my realest self on Instagram. I mean, as real as I can get because that app is weird.
All social media is
strange.
It is what it is.
Yeah. But do you have any more things? 'Cause I definitely want to highlight a couple of things before we wrap up.
No, you go.
So I definitely want to highlight the fact that I really love how they represented New York really well. I think especially if you're from New York or you want to visit New York, they did a really great job at immersing you in that experience. Like even going to Union Square Park, there were certain things I've seen.
Yeah, I get like on some tourist. Yeah, it was fire, but it was just like, bro, before I even got over here, I was on the train and niggas was about to get stabbed. Like, like shit hectic. Like, like don't let that movie, like the cartoon, make you think you know what I mean? Like,
hopscotch. It's
like if you in Manhattan, maybe most likely you're good.
They got the Brooklyn Bridge. They had the Brooklyn Bridge. They had like a couple highlight moments. I also did appreciate him kind of like, again, this rooting for like black people. He paid homage to Virgil throughout the movie. Even with Kanye, him and Kanye going through their own dispute. His character had the Yeezys on.
I ain't even. That's a whole. We could go a whole.
You want to touch it a little bit?
But it's just like, bro, that had me hot because I was seeing Cudi show love to Ye all through that shit, and it's just like, I just hate how certain people have the power to do certain things and not be held accountable.
You feel like he was
true.
showing fake love?
Huh?
No, he's talking about Kanye.
No,
He's talking about Kanye.
I'm talking about Kanye.
Okay.
Because I look
he could
at
have took
it.
it out. That's what I'm saying. I like that he didn't take it out.
Yeah, he could have easily. He could have. I mean, I don't know how. I've never done animation like as a film, but it's just like I'm pretty sure you could just like you know what I mean, redo the design and something that looks similar or whatever. But it's just like he was showing love, and it's just like I feel like also even when he's talked about these situations, it's just like this person is who they are right now, and they're doing what they're doing, but I'm not gonna forget what they've done for me. Right. So obviously that's why he left it, because that's not his character. Right. Just because you out of pocket don't mean I'm gonna stoop down to your level or whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? But Kanye is a whole other top. Like,
yo, that's a whole other episode. I'm not giving him no more energy after this shit he pulled. But yeah,
stop playing.
Yeah. Do you want to act like you want to wrap up? Do you want to ask like some
we're gonna do some lightning question rounds. You're gonna answer real quick as soon as you can.
Oh shit! I wasn't even ready.
It's gonna be 3 questions. All right. Would you date your neighbor?
Now this question for people who are not watching. The characters were neighbors. So
would you date your neighbor?
Would I? I would.
You know what's crazy? I've lived in the crib that I live now. Yeah. I've lived there since senior year of high school or whatever. So 6-7 years or something like that. I don't know what my neighbors look like, bro. Cause I live in a house, so I never see my neighbors outside. I don't know.
Once you date your neighbor, you gonna be like, you gonna see her every single day.
If she is beautiful,
you gonna see her every day.
It's a vibe. I'm dating her. Yeah. I'm at your doorstep, knocking. Yo,
what's up?
I'm about to barbecue next door. Right. Hop over the fence, come through. You know what I mean?
It's a cute love story, right?
Yeah, it's a vibe.
Down for it. All right.
Would you?
I don't know. Okay. I don't think so. Yeah. I don't know. I like to have a safe space. So in the event that it is just bad vibes, then I could at least get some break. I could at least get some space from you. But I don't want to see you as soon as I open my door and you right there.
I've never been one of those people you don't date somebody in the workplace. I feel like if there is a connection that strong, I would do it. But if it's
I feel like the connection could be strong, but some things could go bad where it just put a bad taste in your mouth. Now you gotta see it, so that's the only reason
you gotta take the bad with the good. No one's gonna be more good.
Okay then. Nah,
that's my motto.
It works for you. Go. Do you believe in soulmates?
We answered this question. Yes, I definitely believe in soulmates. Like I said, you have to be spiritually tapped in and in tune and present enough to realize that. And soulmates doesn't always have to be an intimate relationship. It could be a friend. It could be a family member. It could be a dog. You can meet a stranger who's you guys had that connection.
I don't know about a dog, but I agree.
See, I ain't even
because people be loving their animals like that.
See, I ain't even think about it outside of an intimate relationship.
People tend to do that
because it's just if we talking soulmates, then it's just then I feel like we already got our soulmates. If it's not an intimate one, if you got siblings and shit like that, you get what I'm saying, depending on who you are. Yeah. So damn, you fuck my head up with that because I ain't even think about it outside of
for a very long time. I was thinking the same way too. Then I started looking into soulmates okay, because certain people have a great a deep relationship with their grandparents or their grandma, something like that. So I think also that's what I say that's very important to be mindful of these things because, like I said, if you're always just thinking about I'm looking for my soulmate in an intimate relationship, you're not gonna notice that your friend may be your soulmate. What's the next question?
Is being friends with your ex possible?
Hell no.
I don't know.
I think I've never been in that predicament. I've been single since '97.
I think it's possible, but I just think in a relationship, if you're in a current relationship, I think just out of respect, there's no point to have a relationship with them.
Yeah, I was gonna say that I felt like I've only been in one real relationship. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? As an adult, nigga didn't experience the love shit and all that. And it's just bro, you're not being friend. It's too much trauma. It's too whatever. And I don't mean necessarily crazy trauma, but I mean there's too many things where it's just you might get a little emotional. You see her, you know what I mean, talking to the next door. Or she posted something on her status damn, you having a good time without me. Must be nice, or vice versa, or whatever the case may be. So it's just feel like that's your ex. It's your ex for a reason. We progress and we moving on. You know what I mean? I see. It don't have to be bad blood though. Right. I see you in the street. You know what I mean? Do your thing, mama. But it's I'm out of here.
For me, my hope would just be like I said. I've never been in that predicament, but my hope would be that, any relationship that I pursue and get into, if things don't work out, that there can be some type of, respect and love still there. Not no bad will. So that's a hope. But I'm dreaming big. The movie inspired me to dream big.
I love it.
Big, my boy.
Dream big.
So you guys, if y'all haven't checked it out, it's on Netflix.
Yes.
Intergalactic.
10 out of 10 for me.
I would say 10 out of 10. What about you?
Listen.
I'm ready for part 2 because he said he's going to come back with more.
He dropping another one?
Yeah, they said
Oh, keep these coming.
Yeah.
We definitely need more.
I want to see the continued love story. Like, I feel like
yeah, like we not even gonna listen. This is immaculate. This is flawless. Like
exactly.
we're not even gonna rate it because it's one of the first of its type of thing. Like, you get what I'm saying? So it's just like when others come down and they start emulating and doing the same thing, then we could judge and be like, all right, this was better than this or whatever. But it's just like Kid Cudi got that. Everybody need to support that.
He definitely is a trendsetter. He's making a new wave. Because the only thing I could throw when I watched, I was like, damn, I need like black animes that kind of felt iconic and stood out to me were like the Boondocks. Mm-hmm. That was the only thing I could really think of.
You watch Afro Samurai?
I tried watching that and I got lost in it. But I'm gonna get back to it.
You watch Black Dynamite?
It's okay. So yeah, right.
Black Dynamite. It's kind of like Boondocks basically. Right. Like it's like It's like, I feel like it's like Boondocks meets like Scooby Doo type of vibe. And when you watch it, you'll get what I'm saying. Like if you ever watch Scooby Doo and shit like that. Yeah, right, all black. You won't put me on to all. It's basically like a blaxploitation film. Like, you know how they did the blaxploitation films? Like, you got the Black Dynamite, you got the movie, and then he got a cartoon series as well. Nice. So it's fire.
All right, so I'm gonna get into the black animation. Pretty much that's it, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you again, Dejan, for pulling up. Definitely want to have you back. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, all that good stuff. Signing out. Sorry.
Wait. Let me put my social media up there.
Oh, of course, put your social media.
Captain, hold on, because we got to make sure. Yes. Because it's Captain Sue. But it's
I keep on messing up with that.
Captain. It's not you good, you valid. We family here, so you could, you know what I mean? If you knew me before the metamorphosis, it's just like you know what it is, but it's just like if you don't know me, it's Captain.Sue777. You heard 3 7s.
Yes, follow
at y'all.
Thank you for listening.
Just give me the light, then pass the joint.
Fingers set down on the piano.
Hey yo, I come through comfortable, shining like the sun do. Make the sun move, penetrate my aura through my funk groove. Smoking water like morning dew. You was my rotten egg lover, I spoiled you. But now you gotta kick rocks in them open shoes. Don't listen to Sade no more because she open wounds. Apollo's with the uppercuts, I send you to the moon. Go ahead and call your goons so I can show y'all how goblins move. One maneuver wiping out your whole platoon. Like scraping the plate with the last rice and a spoon. You through. I'm on a mission and knock the matcha out your green tea noodle. The voodoo child dropping gems and jewels. My path look better than the yellow brick road. Traveling took a toll, but none of that cost my soul. I'm on the go. Thanks to my parents, don't know what a happy home is. Always had shelter, but I was homeless. Strings on my heart, I pulled like a guitar solo. Till it was a raisin in the sun and dry soil. Me and rap is a match made in heaven, like Italian bread and olive oil. The knowledge calling for you, then wisdom, understanding unfolds. Can't knock me off what I stand on. I'm planting 10 toes. Drop you, then you fold on one leg like you voguing. I'm turned up to the max in the range. I'm a hot stove. If you touch me, you know what happens. What understood ain't gotta be told. I'm pushing numbers like the lottery, yo. I'm on the go. Just give me the light, then pass the joint. Just give me the light. Just give me the light, then pass the joint. Just give me the light. Just give me the light, then pass the joint. Just give me the light. Just give me the light, then pass the joint.